Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today, and to everyone out there who celebrates it, a very happy Easter. Nice Easter outfit you have on today, Samantha.
Thank you. It's a very nice day.
Yeah, it's beautiful, fast-made track, firm turf course. We got, I think, 150,000 is the estimate in the Rainbow Six this afternoon. We have it sounds like a broken record. This weather's been so fantastic
know. We've been
over the
so
last
lucky.
month or so. I think we had that one wild rainy day where we had to cancel. That's
Yep.
it. They just 150,000. There's 43,000 in the carryover, and you want to play, you got to play here at Gulfstream Park today.
Yep.
Not many things open.
Yep, just we got us and our sister track, and we'll take you up to their first races, and we'll kind of interlap, and it'll be a fun day.
Yeah, and of course we got the bets later on.
Yep.
So we'll
Coast
see how
to coast,
it goes.
yeah.
Coast to coast, all that good stuff. Let's get to today's card. As I mentioned, the fast main track and everything. Brian put an early pick five ticket together, and this first race is going to be a mile. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and upward, and we have a jockey change on the number 8. That's Elijah Greenblatt will be on the number 8. Last shall be first. And Brian, right off the rip, is singling the 6 High Prince, and probably a logical shot.
Yep, definitely. Then race 2, he's going to use a couple. Race 3, just going to single the 2. Keep on moving, and that's what he's going to do. On to the 4th race. Super's Lucky Lady will be tough, and in race number 5, he's spreading a little bit in a 5-furlong maiden turf sprint. It's a good one. It starts the Tropical Turf Pick 3.
And the Rainbow.
And the Rainbow.
And the Rainbow. So very busy race number 5. Getting back to this first race, boy, it sure looks like the High Prince looks like the one to beat in here.
Yeah, he does. I went with the long shot here because I felt like this was a good race to maybe go for something like this. Just from the rail draw, going to go this mile distance again. The 3rd place finish wasn't too bad. He was still beaten quite a bit, but that was by a big class dropper, easier said, for Rapoli and Todd Pletcher. So maybe this is one that can pick up some pieces in a race where, heck, you don't trust anybody.
Yeah, I got him on my ticket too, not on top.
Yeah.
For all the reasons you just mentioned, 6 High Prince, as I mentioned, because it's Victor Barboza Jr., but hasn't been seen since February. So like Samantha says, this is where maybe you take a shot because the horse is coming off the bench. Paco Lopez is going to ride the 6 today, so these look like the logical contenders, along with the 7 Mustang Bay for Carlos Perez. So 3 in race number 1. Going to race number 2, it's a good one. It's a mile on the turf. It's a claimer. And happy birthday, Aunt Linda.
Aunt Linda, happy birthday.
Yeah, whoever you
I
are.
know somebody older than you. He's right here.
I set her up every day. It's a claiming race for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward. No scratches. Big field in here. And Brian's pick 4, I believe he's got.
Yeah, we'll tweet it out. I bet it's a run back, yeah.
So let's start it up, and we show the replay of the horse you have on top.
Well, I got him second. Actually.
You got him second?
I do, yeah. Well, wait, I do have him on top. Sorry, I don't know. I'm losing my mind here a little bit. Yeah, we'll take a look at him here in just a second. Nano Man, thank you guys, just ran really good last time. That was the first start in the barn of Danny Gargan. The rails were at 45 feet that day. Today they're at 52, so out a little bit further. He had a rail trip the whole entire way. Playground Legend was good this day. Kosher Capone ran well on the Tapeta yesterday. I think that this horse is set up to run a big race. I'm hoping so, at least, Ron. I liked this effort. I was happy enough with this effort.
Danny Gargan, the trainer, Rajiv Maharaj. I went the other way, and I went with a horse, Phil Antonacci's horse, the franchise. Last time this horse was seen, it was 20 months ago, but it was in the Grade 1 Saratoga Derby Invitational. He comes back at gelding, comes back with Lasix, comes back with our leading rider right now, Edgar Zayas. What do we get today?
I don't know. It's such a long layoff, and these grass horses are a little bit easier to keep fit, Ron, at least, or get fit for the first race back. But first race in the USA, he took some money on the 2023 Saratoga Derby Invitational, so that's a good sign. I'll wait on this guy here.
The number 3 horse in here, and that's Whiskey Park, is going to try the turf for the first time for Saffie Joseph Jr. Do you like Nyquist on the turf?
Yeah, I do. I think, well, the offspring of Nyquist just, I feel like, run on everything, Ron. And this horse is a big, good-looking, strong horse. He's coming off of a little bit of a layoff, a mile on the 16th at Tampa on the dirt last time. I love when horses try something new. So watch the tote bird on this horse.
Yeah, you know, you got to look when it's Saffie Joseph
Right.
Jr. and C2 Racing. So they do both
absolutely,
together do an excellent job. And separately, too.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Race number 3, 6 furlongs. These are maiden 3-year-olds and upward with no scratches and jockey changes in here. Oh, do note the number 6 got the ultimate equipment change, is now listed as a gelding. That's Vera Quinn. And Brian Single, keep on moving here. Is that the way you went too?
It is.
And we got a video?
We do, yes. This is his debut. Just Mike Yates, such a good trainer with horses on the dirt sprinters. I mean, good trainer in general, but just this is his MO. This horse was bet to even money on debut. The word was out, but expect the best got the better of him. Now, he's in his incorrect lead here. He finally switches to his left lead, and then once he gets the horse on his outside, he kind of picks back up again. Now, I think that he was just a tired horse, especially with not switching into his right lead. Now we've got that race under our belt, and now we cut back a half furlong.
And let's show you a stat on Mike Yates, what he's doing this afternoon with that second start. So you can see second start, dirt sprint, past 5 years. You know he's going to be good. Yep. 19%. He's in the money almost 50% of the time.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And this is a barn that pops with first-time starters as well. But during the championship meet, and this horse here, I think, is a really a valuable player.
Why don't you see where you went with the 6 in second, and that's Vera Vekowin, I think it is. That's Antonio Sano. Vekoma is the sire.
Well, Vekomas, they are so precocious, Ron. They are so early. This is a post that I'm not a huge fan of because horses, when they make their debut with a 3-year-old, sometimes they tend to break outwards, and that can lose a little bit of ground. That's important. But that was a strong gate work on paper, at least on the 16th going into this race. I can't see there's no works on online, so we'll see.
Then you had a couple of first-time starters. You got One More Time, and I got Easy Answer. Gustavo Delgado hasn't started many horses at the meet, but they've been running well. Yep. So I think the logical one is the 2, and that's 6 because of the breeding. Fourth race this afternoon is going to be 5.5 furlongs on the Peter. It's a claimer for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up with no scratches. Not many scratches on the card today. Kicks off Samantha's middle pick 4, and boy, this thing is getting more popular every day.
Super popular. We'll look at my ticket here. I'm starting it off with a single with Super's Lucky Lady. This is my best bet. Race number 5, Ron, I've got the 7 on top, Mr. Binks. Race number 6, I'm spreading. It's one of those races to me. A Coney Life, the 2 is who I have on top. And in race 7, the 1, Volatile. I'm just going to single this filly here today, $7.50.
Yeah, when I put my Rainbow 6, we'll be showing in a little while. I went deeper in that race number 6, too. But just 'cause it's like
you have to.
Anybody could win the race type of thing. But I want to hear about the number 2 horse in here, Super's Lucky Lady. This is your best bet of the afternoon?
Yeah, it is. Look, this horse has just been at this level for the last few starts now, has not made that step forward to the non-winners of 2, but she ran really well in her last 2 starts. Not a huge fan of this post position here, but I think she should trip out pretty nicely here.
Sorry, Samantha, I went with the 4, Hollow Blue, the Irish bred, just because of the drop.
Yeah.
They're going to try something different for Brendan Walsh. He tried this horse going long, really stepped it up in his first start in America with those 75 optional claims, dropped it, continues this free fall.
Yeah, and this horse does have a synthetic win, and that was in Great Britain, so that's key here.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
And then we got the number of, what else we got in here we could talk about? Oh, the 7 horse, Water. Water's an interesting horse. You get Paco, Carlos Navarez. His barn is going good. I think this horse you got to use somewhere.
Yeah, though you look at her, and she's tried some tough competition, and she's run well, 3rd, 4th, 5th. She medals in those allowance levels or optional claiming levels, but at the end of the day, I think she's more 17.5, 12.5, 10K Tapeta claimer. So she's back in where she fits, but she's coming back a bit quick, and that's what I don't like.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back quick with my Rainbow 6 and Samantha's Tropical Turf pick 3.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Samantha, we actually saw Brian walking by, so we know he's in the building. I know his tickets are always in the building, but this 5th race here is our jam today.
It is.
It's 5 furlongs on the turf, and these are maiden 3-year-olds, and no scratches or jockey changes in this race. And as I mentioned before we took the break, Rainbow 6 and the Tropical Turf Pick 3 starts here. So let's check out the Rainbow 6 first. And my ticket, guess what? 43.20. And you can see, we'll talk about the 5th race in a moment. Race number 6, as we mentioned, I went deep in here. I couldn't really quite figure that one out.
Yeah.
But my top pick is the 3 Golden Stern, the Irish bred for Angel Rodriguez. Race number 7, 3 deep for me. My top pick is the 5 Beyond Belief for Kelly Breen. We got a stat with that. Race number 8, here's my single. It's a little taking a little bit of a shot here at 9-2 with Leonza.
Nice.
On the inside. That kicks off the coast-to-coast pick 3 in there. Maybe playing that and singling right in there.
There you go.
And then in race number 9, for me, 2 deep. The top pick is the 3 King Dioro, but I also used the favorite in there, and that's Dreamlike. And in the last race, that's the end of the Tropical Turf Pick 3 and the Rainbow 6. 1, 9, and 6 for me. The 1 being my top pick. That's Brendan Walsh, Edgar Zayas. 43.20 for me.
I never lie.
Yes. I cut myself when you said that. Somebody's saying, so let's look at your Tropical Turf.
All right, Tropical Turf Pick 3. I didn't have a single here, Ron, so I'm going with the 7 on top. That's Mr. Binks. Race number 8, I have the 9 on top. That is Marco T. And in race number 10, the finale, I also have I Never Lie on top, as well as I've got Ariodora and British Empress, who I think with the scratches looks a lot tougher in there.
Yeah,
So
no, she looks like she's in a good
Yeah,
spot there
agreed.
this afternoon. A little bit of interest in that race. We'll talk about it when we get there. Peckett's Map at 15-1 for Jorge Delgado, I believe it is. So going back to this race number 5 here, Mr. Binks, you heard her. Let's throw the video.
Yeah, Mr. Binks is kind of his own worst enemy. He gets way too wound up before his races. Here he is finishing second. I've tried this horse many a times, and I thought I had it here. And if you watch him, you can't really see the wetness in his coat from this replay, but he just gets like, he's a little fireball, Ron, maybe like how you were when you were younger, just always super antsy, just rearing to go. And whenever he gets the jock on, he just gets so excited that I feel like he kind of just blows a lot of his energy before the race. And I've talked to Joe Catanese about this horse, and he said, we just can't keep the lid on him. He's just so excited all the time. So he's had a month and 5 days off, and I think that maybe a fresh horse here. Watch him before in the post parade too, but this is a great post.
They didn't have fire when I was young.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, no, look at the fractions this horse set that day that he was dueling through. 21 flat, 43-3.
Yep.
And it sort of explains what this guy wants to do.
Yep.
Go. So, and he got that little bit of rest. I did go with the number 3, Surf's Up. It's George Weaver's horse. Getting blinkers, getting Lasix. Now he's making its second lifetime start. So let's show you stat with George Weaver here. What this horse is doing today. Turf sprints in the last 5 years. He's 29%, 47% of money, and he had a bomber or two for it to be 496. So we'll see how this horse runs today.
Wow.
Getting the full Monty here with the blinkers on and the Lasix. MSCL Jaramillo. Today, sit off Mr. Well, I believe everybody's going to sit off Mr. Binks. So.
Yeah, that's what it seems like for sure.
Yeah, and what about the number 5 horse in here? And that's Otter Mischief.
Going to cut back to sprinting for the first time on the turf, and I think that's an interesting move here because he's shown some really sharp two-turn speed, and he might be one that can sit just close enough in order to have a nice trip work out for him, though. So I had to include him since they've just been going long for him, and now that they cut him back, I'm curious to see how he runs.
You know, and a little interest, I'm going to ask you about the number 4 First Navy Jack, the Irish bred for David Fawkes. You know, you haven't seen, he ran okay at Indiana Grand. He ran okay at Kentucky Downs a little bit. Kentucky Downs, you know, you put a line through those races.
Yeah.
Maybe this one comes back, lays 6 blinkers, and runs well.
Yeah, it makes a trainer change, and Thomas Malloy was Brendan Walsh's longtime assistant, and just galloped some great horses for Brendan as well, at Maxfield included. And to me, if he can't get this horse to win, I feel like this might be tough, and especially going the 2 turns, and you know, Tom wanted this horse going 2 turns on. They're cutting him back. Now, I will say, going blinkers on for the first time is huge. He was breezing well. He was breezing with the horse, Dave's first-time starter on Friday that we saw. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Race number 6 is going to stretch it out to 1 mile and 70 yards on the Peter Claimers, 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 in life. Scratch the number 8. Get Ready to Rock. I believe that's the first scratch on the card all the way to race number 6 here. And you have your late pick 5 ticket.
I do, and I do have a single in here, and we'll get into that race. I'm interested to see what you think about race number 7 because it's a tough one. Race 6, I did have more horses in my middle pick 4, and you can add those in. I just wanted to keep it. Those are my press horses here, the 2, 3, 6, race 7. Of course, there's the single, race 8. I do have the 9 on top, Marco T, race number 9. The 6 for me, Ron, Soulmate from Marty Drexler. I did use Dreamlike. I almost just tossed them completely. I did that with Antiquarian yesterday. I don't want to be that hard-headed here. And in the finale, both of you and I on I Never Lie.
Yeah,
$36.
Sorry, Samantha. Brandon Walsh getting the stat there.
Yeah.
And going back to this race number 6 this afternoon. So you got the number 2 horse in here. So let's start it with that horse first. And we'll show the video of the other horses after that. Tell me why you like On a Connie Life.
Yeah, well, I like him because he doesn't come out of the race that we are going to show. He's just an outsider, which I like. Now, I did use some of those coming out of that aforementioned race, but it's Rohan. He picked up a win this weekend. And Misael, are we just going to go see how far we can take him here?
Yeah, he was going good, and I don't know what happened last time out. You know, so he's coming back, and I think there's a good spot for him. Now that video.
Yes, so you've got Guildenstern, and here he is. To me, Ron, you're supposed to win from here. The winner this day, Austonian, ran back yesterday. I forget how he ran, but we were all against him. Austonian, do you remember how well he ran yesterday? I can't remember.
I don't think he ran well.
No, I don't think so either. And there's Candy Street on the inside, which I think you got to use Candy Street because he was on the inside, and that's not ideal. But Guildenstern was game. Look, that was a tough bob here and a huge price nabbed him late. So, does he regress some from that, I wonder?
And what do you know, the number 9 horse in here, and that's Blaze of Color. And Blaze of Color, from a barn that doesn't win a lot of races, but this horse looks like to be in a really good spot for me. I kept going back and forth to put this one on top over Guildenstern. And, you know, Paco Lopez is going to ride. You know, he's going for, you know, a really nice victory last time out. He's stepping up. What do we get today? Yeah,
at least he's got a recency edge here, and this is a great post, too, with Paco aboard.
Yeah, and you see 2 back. He was, neck behind Guildenstern.
Exactly.
It's going to be the big favorite in here, you think, when the smoke clears. So I think you got to use the number 9 horse in that race. Race number 7 this afternoon is 7 furlongs. It's an allowance optional claimer, and these are 3-year-old fillies, and we have no scratches or jockey changes. You hear me saying that a lot. Pete will be up afterward. He's got basically the first part of the day off. He has not a lot of changes to let you know about. So Brian's got his late pick 4. As I mentioned, Brian will be up here all afternoon with us. Let's take a look at his ticket.
He's going to spread a little bit.
Wow.
How about that?
But look at the last race. He likes the 9, which we like 1 and 9 in that race.
Yeah, we do.
So race number 8, he's got lots of coverage in there, and he's got the 3, the Dove Rouge. He's got some prices in there. Race number 9, I think you got to use Dreamlike, like you said, and your horse, which he has on his ticket.
Yeah, I agree completely.
And Brian will be up here, of course, to expound more on his ticket. We sort of just flew through it there. Let's go. So you're single.
I'm singling.
Volatile, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know about her. This is tough for me, and I will find out very quickly. So she didn't break at all last time, and it was a there off you lose. It honestly was. Well, we can show the replay. This isn't the start or anything, but this is the finish. Feedy was really good. I don't want to take anything away from Feedy, but Volatile did a lot more running. She was way far out of it. It just was over at the break for her. She trailed. She came up and made a big move chasing the winner, but she just couldn't get there. Now, does this race take something out of her? It might. She's a pretty light filly in general, so I want to get a good look at her before the race, and I might have to call an audible. Of course, in the late pick 5, I'm already locked in, but Feedy, will face her right back again, and I need Feedy to take a step back, and I need Volatile to take a step forward.
Yeah, Volatile ran good. If you look at that last race, it had its head turned at the start. Was dead last coming out. There was 8 in the field, and that one was 8 in there. I did go with the number 5 in here, Beyond Belief, for Kelly Breen. First time for him, so I wanted to see how he does with, new people to his shed row.
Yeah.
And I found a stat that I would like to show you right now and see what it looks like for Kelly. First, after the trainer switch, past 5 years, 19%, 40% is good numbers. Now, the horse is going from, turf to Peter. Kelly doesn't do that much, so it might skew this stat a little bit, but I still think you got to give this horse a second look.
Yeah, look at our picks. It's one of these races where something funny could happen.
Yeah, so Beyond Belief, I've just taken a little bit of a shot.
Yeah.
And then Blueberry Hill, Old Fats Domino song, blinkers on, stumbled at the break. Look who's training, Todd Pletcher. Didn't he win everything yesterday?
It seemed like it, yeah. And they do put the blinkers on. I'm not a huge fan of this move here. It says that she stumbled break. I watched it 3-4 different times. I didn't see a stumble. I don't know. I'm not sure. The horse inside of her stumbled a little bit. Maybe that's what they picked up. But she was in a good spot, and she stopped bad. Now, does she just not want to go that far? Did she ran such a big race on debut?
At 7.
Yeah, so that probably came back to her. Does she come back now? Heck, she might, but she's going to be a short price.
Well, I don't know if Todd will be here today, but he was all over the place, and his horses ran exceptionally well yesterday.
Yeah,
so that is race number 7. Well, race number 8 is 5 furlongs on the turf. This is a good one. This is where the coast-to-coast picks off, and we're not making it easy today with this 12-horse field. We'll start it off with your top pick, and that is Marco T, who I have in second.
Mike Dubb, Christophe Clement, coming off of a bit of a layoff. Now, I don't know how fit she's going to be. Silver Skillet yesterday was coming off of a layoff, and I didn't think she was 100%, and she ran like it as well. So some food for thought there, and this 5 furlongs is a snappy race. She's only been on this turf course once, and it was during her maiden ranks, and she came back to win going 6 at Belmont at Aqueduct. So I think Paco will at least get some aggressiveness out of her, but as far as her fitness level goes, we'll just have to see.
Well, you can see the selections all over. My single in the Rainbow Six is Leon's on the inside. Stepping off the maiden when it's hard to do this, I just like the inside post. I like the speed. I think this horse is going to go. And here's the thought. If you don't single here, you got to take 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, the 9 is you have on top. I have in second is probably the logical one. But what do you do with Proud Mary and Definite Diva, who we have a video we're going to show?
Yeah, we do. I think that Proud Mary you have her a little bit further rated, but she ran really hard, and she tries hard. So she's on the rail. She's the 4, and Definite Diva is another one that is coming from the Kelly Breen bar. Miguel Vasquez will ride, and there's the 9. But if you watch the 4 there on the inside, she tries. When the 9 ranges up to her, she puts her head back down and starts running again. So I like that. I love a mare that has got some try in her. And at the end of the race there with Definite Diva, Paco was on board her that day, just kind of stood up. She was done. She wasn't going to get any better placing than 5th or 6th. So I don't know. Second off.
What do you do with our old buddy Vindicate Cha-Cha? This one is going. I can tell you that.
He's so fast. She's fast, yes.
She's fast. A turf record. They don't try much on the turf. Only twice, trying her on the turf. She's going to be on the lead. She's going to be going. And MCL Jaramillo. So I threw her on a ticket, but like I always say, and like we all say, try supers. I
There
think
you
you
go.
got to put this one somewhere.
Yep.
This is a great betting race to kick off the Coast to Coast Pick 5 because you can go all different ways.
Tough,
in there.
yeah.
I'm glad you had a little interest in my number one.
Yeah, I do, right at the bottom.
Let's go to race number 9. Now, we really stretch it out to 1 mile and an 8, but this is on the Tapeta. It's an allowance optional claimer for 4-year-olds and upward. And ad nauseum, I will say once more, no scratches, no jockey changes in here. And let's start it off with your number 6, Soulmate, off of Marty Drexler.
Coming off of a Tapeta win, which is huge in a spot like this. And Marty Drexler had a win yesterday. He's he might already actually be up in Canada, but I think he was leaving this week. But leaves this horse here to run. He's 9 years old. He's unblemished on this Tapeta course here. Was a big price last time. He snuck by, but he ran really well, and I just like he's got recency.
You know, I went with King Doro, certainly the king of the Tapeta.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
His horse loves the Tapeta. 4 starts, 3 wins in a second. So I sort of put that one on top. The unknown is the 9 furlongs.
Yeah, it is. That's what we don't know that at all. And he's one that gets up just in time. He's a grinder. So will the mile and an eighth help him a little bit? It could. He just picks him up, and he's a cool horse. The way he wins on the Tapeta, you never think he's going to get there, and then boom, he just gets down in time.
Now, Dreamlike from Todd Pletcher, we got a video. You faded him a little further back than I did.
I did, yes, and we've got just a workout of him. Now here he is breezing with a horse named Authentic Legend, and he's on the outside here, and he's breezing quite well. This was a 5 furlong breeze. He's gotten a lot of distance breezes in him, and now he's gelded. Here's my thing with these gun runners, though, and he's not a very big gun runner, so he could absolutely just thrive on the Tapeta, and he's fit, and he's not a very big horse, so I think he should handle the Tapeta. But gun runners, they're 11% Tapeta routes versus 18% dirt routes.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and it's not a huge sample, but it's enough to kind of make you wonder a little bit.
You know what I liked about this horse in a way? If you look, every time this horse comes off the layoff, it runs well.
That's a
you
good
know what
point,
I mean?
yeah.
So we'll see if that's going to be the case. But you make a great point with the Tapeta and the breeding. So there's yeses and certainly.
Yeah,
there
at
are
what's
some
going to be a short price,
yeah,
too,
well,
right?
Favorite for sure, I would think. What about the inside horse that you use here that I did not use, and that's Havildar?
Well, Arrogate's 15% with Tapeta routes, which that's kind of shocked me. He's trying something new. These are some sharp connections. This FMQ Stables, they have a piece of Saudi crown here. This horse has played around here a bit as the bird just grazes my head there. I think that the fact that he's had to work across the Tapeta track, I like a lot. I don't like this post position, but Misael will jump back on again for Victor, and I like that move.
Let's go to race number 10. Duck when you see the birds.
Yeah.
Duck, yeah.
All right.
Mile on the turf. These are maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 2, the 7, the 10, the 11, and the 14. Please note that number 13, that first time starter from Heather Smullen, will get in and compete in the finale. And both you and I never lied from Brendan Walsh. So before we get into the race, we'll show you the stat, and we'll let you know what we think about this particular race here. And you can see Tapeta to turf past 5 years. That's a big sampling, and it's good. I mean, that's 124 horses, 15%, because you don't think you think Brendan Turf. That's what comes to your mind first, right? But when you see the stat, he's okay.
Yeah, it is. And this is the second start now in the barn with Brendan Walsh. And they tried sprinting her last time. That's what she had been doing. But now we'll stretch out to the mile. A daughter American Pharaoh, and the dam side was Tapit. She should love every bit of distance. And now she's had a bit more time in the Brendan Walsh farm.
The number 9 horse in here, British Empress, gets the needed drop.
Oh,
but then you look to the right, and it says 0 for 16, 4 seconds and 5/3. I know the drop. It's one of these type of horses. Of course, it could win at this level, but gee, you know.
I know. What's cool about her is she's all game.
Right.
She picks up a check every single time. That's great for connections like that. When they're paying their own bills, there's nothing better than that. But look, she's got speed on this turf course. That's very dangerous if they just let her go. Rajiv Mirage will get aboard her today, which I find very interesting. She's Brian's single in his late pick 4.
Really?
Yeah, so It's hard to say what kind of trip she's going to get because some of these we don't know how fast they're going to go.
I like the breeding on the number 6 in here, Beckett's map. Being the daughter of Lynn's map.
Yeah.
And, you look at the barn, they don't do this first start, 19%, first turf, 21%, very limited sampling, debut claim. No, I just kept going back to the source because of the breeding. Jorge Delgado, an excellent trainer. Joe Bravo in the saddle. 15-1, you could be worried. Go worse putting this horse on you trying super.
Yeah, this is a race that's going to, I think, blow up some tickets for sure.
So if you don't get that 1 and 9, you're going to get some really nice prices. That's how we see the 10. And now we're going to turn it over to our ever popular, world famous lightning round.
Yeah, and we'll look back at a couple days ago to Pan Street, and we have confirmed it is Tapan, not Tappan.
Oh, it is Tapan.
Yep, it is
Wow.
Tapan. I know. Yep, we were saying it wrong the whole time, but he puts in his final local breeze. He's working with his normal workmate. That's Rapture. He's on the outside here, Ron, just plugging along. Our boss and Mike Welsh are up there, Dave and Mike, and stopping at Dairy Queen on the way home to watch this breeze and talk to Brad Cox. And he did everything right. This was his final work before shipping to Churchill Downs, and as they say, he's burning rubber down on Tapan Street here. Looks good. Excited to see what he does in the Derby.
Yeah, lightly raced, but I think he's going to run well, of course. So we'll see. We have 3 main horses that ran here that are going to be in the Kentucky Derby that are going to be favorites. Maybe not the favorite, but favorite horses. Of course, today, Saturday, weekends, we've got church, Santa Anita, we've got the coast to coast.
Yeah, we do. It's a good sequence here today. It's 2 races from here, 8, 9, boom, boom, and then 5, 7, and 9 from Santa Anita. These are the 2 games in town today for the First Corporation, so get after it.
Tropical Turf Pick 3. Samantha had a ticket.
Starts the same race as the Rainbow.
Yeah, so we'll see how to go races 5, 8, and 10. And there you see $3 minimum wage. Really good payouts with that 15% takeout. And, boy, you hit it, you're going to be paid.
You will. Yep, it's such a solid bet, and you can make some money with it.
Well, your best bet today?
It is Super's Lucky Lady on the Tapita.
Lucky. Easy for you to say. My best bet is a little bit of a shaky one. Lions 9-2, race number 8, the inside horse with speed. And your long shot today?
Coming up in 24 minutes, Theo's Thunder, the one who's got some experience.
My long shot today is in race number 7, Beyond Belief, 6-1. That's that Kelly Breen horse.
Yep.
Trying, first time in his barn. So already $100,000 in the pick 5 pool. We'll be back for the first race. Of course, Pete Aiello will be coming up, and Brian will be here joining us too. And once again, to everybody out there, right? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.